Not Nerd Podcast, episode 353. Welcome to Dynamic Island.
Pardon me?
Pardon me?
Welcome. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Welcome to the Not Nerd Podcast. I'm Nate Heath, and we are here to help you tech better. Here with me, as always, Mr. Dave Baylor.
Hey there, hi there, ho there. It's me again. Last week, we were so excited to watch and listen to the Apple event and learn about all the new products. And this week, we don't have them if we ordered them. This is like the purgatory week. It's like,
it is.
We know what they are. You can order them, but nobody has them yet. So, Nate, what did you order? Do you remember? Or did you just order too many things?
I did not order too many things. I am convinced that I will get an Apple Watch Ultra. I've decided that I want it, but I don't need it day one, so I'm going to wait till maybe a Black Friday sale or see if T-Mobile has an upgrade. But I did set my multiple alarms so that I woke up just a few minutes before 5 a.m. Pacific on Friday to place my pre-order for my iPhone 14 Pro in the what is it? Space Midnight Black, the dark gray.
Black. I think Space Black now is what they call it.
Whatever color, and I upgraded to the 512 gig phone. I've run out of storage a couple times, and I have vast aspirations of doing more video work and all that kind of stuff. So I upped the storage, and it's a couple more dollars a month. And I was thinking about it, with the Apple upgrade program, I think I'm going to be paying $65 a month versus like $60 a month. But then I was thinking, $2 a day. Do I get $2 a day of value out of my phone?
I would think so. I would think so. I got to tell you, the storage, I think, even though it's just pennies over the course of a couple years, your insistence on 4K 60 video is what's killing you.
Yes, I've gotten away from that some, but when we become big YouTube stars this year for Not Nerd and PDX Fast Foodie, I thought I would just go for a couple bucks more, but and like for my business, my billable rate is like $500 an hour, so if I can get $2 worth of time savings, the holistic cost just makes sense.
No wonder you only have one customer, and it's your mom.
Yes, indeed. Well, let's get into some follow-up as if that wasn't, but we have some real serious follow-up to discuss. Yeah. Dave, why don't you explain?
Well, I wanted to talk to everyone. Let the world know that they're pronouncing gyroscope wrong.
Yes.
It's supposed to be pronounced gyroscope. In case you didn't know. No, I think it's gyro because it's gyrating.
Yes.
See, that's the ticket. And I get so frustrated with the English language on multiple fronts, but why do we have letters that share sounds? It makes no sense. Why is a G a G and a J and a J a J, but only a J? Why don't we just use J? Why is it? I don't understand. So,
well, and half the letters in English words are silent anyways, so it's trying to decipher the English. Yeah.
The G is silent in gyroscope, so it's gyroscope.
Yes, like YIF. That's what we'll do. But we did get possibly our most feedback ever on especially a pronunciation this past week. Thank you, Todd and Elliot, for calling out Dave. Yeah. I thought about doing it during the episode, but again, we had so much to talk about that I didn't get around to it.
Well, a little bit of history. Growing up, I had Disney comic books, and one of the characters in the Disney Donald Duck universe is, I guess, Gyro Gearloose. I always called him Gyro Gearloose because right? The G and the G. I just thought Gyro Gearloose was the way you say gyroscope. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm done making excuses. I wish it could be pronounced. Well, I just wish it were spelled differently. Yes. J-Y-R-O. Why not? That's easy. But anyway, I was wrong. This was the first time that I have been wrong in my life, and it's really hard for me to take.
Yes. Well, thank you for addressing that. not everybody is like me and was up at 5 a.m. and will be getting a new phone this Friday. But as of the day we're recording, Monday, September 12th, you can make your phone feel new because is it iOS 15?
We're on 16 now, my
16.
friend.
So I'm going to have the iPhone 14 with the 15 chip with iOS 16. So I'm going to have the 14, 15, 16.
Yeah, that's perfectly clear. I mean,
oh my goodness. So yes, iOS 16 was released today. I did upgrade while I was at a client, and then it finished the upgrade while I was driving, which is always, smart things to do. But
right,
man, the one feature I was looking forward to, and I tried it out, and I'm very excited for it, is in the Messages app. You can now, on a message, simply slide kind of to the right a little bit. A little blue rectangle pops up with a little circle on the message. You tap that, and it marks it as unread. You can now mark your messages as unread, and that will be so helpful because there's so many text messages. I don't open them because I know I need to come back to them later. So now I can do it.
I've had one that I've marked that way since I was on the beta for several months now because I don't have the answer for the guy.
Yes.
So I've just been waiting. So I have a perpetual one unread message, but I know which one it is.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll just go ahead and mention one of the things that I like and was looking forward to on the official release is the haptic feedback for the keyboard. So when you type, it gives you a little vibration and buzz. Many Android phones have done this for years. I think even my trusty Microsoft phone that I have there, my Luma, what is it? The 640 4GX Microsoft Lumia.
As it should be.
From 10 years ago had that feature. So it's a welcome addition. It doesn't, it's very subtle, but it's nice. I like it.
And I have not had much of a chance to play around with 16. I didn't put the beta on my phone, but the new lock screen, I am really liking that. I just picked one of their popular ones, and it's the weather one, which most of the time when I'm looking at my phone, I'm looking at weather and the time. So it's just kind of one of the default ones, and the whole background is
beautiful,
dependent on the weather. But yeah, there's some great features, and maybe next week we can kind of go through a breakdown of some more of the things, because I just really haven't. You've had the beta for a while. One of the other things I like that I noticed was on your home screen at the very bottom, you used to have to drag down to do the search. Now there's just a little search field there, so you can click and use the spotlight search, which I use all the time. So now having kind of a dedicated button to that, very nice.
I wonder if that's an accessibility thing too for people who have trouble swiping. They can just tap that button.
Yeah.
Go on their way.
So get your devices updated. Now, Mac OS has not been updated yet. They're thinking that that's going to happen next month, and they might have an event, a Mac event with some new computers. Again, there's another time of darkness in between when you can update your iPads and your iPhones, and then the Mac doesn't get the features till like a month later, but that's typical. One other quick thing that I noticed when I open my settings app, because my AirPods are out right under like the top, there is it says Nerds AirPods, because remember that time I used the Siri lady to change my name to Nerd on the phone. But it pops up because it knows I have my AirPods nearby, so it gives me all those settings right at the top, which is really nice to have, at least for my AirPods, some convenient settings, because it can be daunting to get into that.
Yeah, formerly you'd have to go to settings, then you'd have to go to Bluetooth, and then you'd have to find the device by clicking the little circle with the eye in it, the iFacianato icon. That's a throwback. And then, but now it's just front and center, the way it ought to be.
Yes. Well, before we spend 2 hours talking about features as we discover them on our phones, we've got some more stuff. Now, here's a theory that I might have had before, but I noticed this after the event on Wednesday last week. All of these articles from all the tech websites. Oh, the iPhone's not going to be that great. Oh, you don't need to upgrade. Oh, there's no differences. There is that window in between the announcement and when the reviews come out that every tech website runs all of their crap on the iPhone articles, and then there's going to be a little change of tone, I believe, once the reviews come out, which should be, it's usually Tuesday or Wednesday. So by the time you hear this, the reviews should start dropping for the people that got the initial phones. But I am very optimistic on the new phone, as I always am. But yeah, I just noticed some of these articles. So if you've been seeing those articles going around going, oh, well, maybe it's not that great, wait till you read some reviews of people that have actually used the phone instead of people that are just trying to get clicks.
Yeah, they want to sensationalize it, and they just look at the specifications. But as with many things in life, you can't just look at the specs. You've got to experience for yourself.
Yes.
And man, I'm looking forward to you getting your phone so I can experience that dynamic island.
Yes.
A little cutout thing. I hope that doesn't make me want to get a new phone.
Cleared my schedule for the weekend so I can just I'm going to the dynamic island all weekend.
You're going to have a retreat there.
Yes. Well, one of the articles I actually found from CNET that was kind of positive was because I did see some poo-poo articles or people saying, oh, the eSIM thing, it's going to make it so difficult to change phones. And this headline from CNET, Apple's iPhone 14 eSIM change has small carriers hopeful switching will be easier. So Mint Mobile, Boost Mobile, and US Mobile see room for growth as eSIM technology could make switching networks even easier.
Yeah, it takes away that friction that some people might have had with like, oh, I got to do the thing and it doesn't work and I got to call T-Mobile and blah, blah. But now maybe you just click a button on a website and it just happens.
Yes. So we will see how that pans out. Now, Dave, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you did not catch the MTV VMAs, the Video Music Awards this year.
I skipped that this year. I was busy doing anything else.
And I happened to be, I think it was like on a Sunday a couple weeks back, and I happened to be flipping through the channels, and it was on, they put it on they're all owned by the same people now, MTV, VH1, BET, whatever other ones there are. So I happened to see it there. I was like, oh, I'll see what's going on in the world of music. I'm a DJ. Maybe I should watch. And as I was watching, I noticed that it felt like there was like a teenage boy that had like AI software and was just dropping things like onto like big animals over the stage, or like there was some weird AI floating guy, like the spaceman that the trophy or the awards are. Like he would just kind of be hovering, and I'm like, this is really so cheesy. Weird. Yeah, but I did see. We'll get into our little NFT update for us all with a couple stories, but. MTV VMAs, Eminem and Snoop Dogg perform as Bored Apes in the Metaverse.
Oh, weird.
So Eminem and Snoop Dogg did a performance, and they quickly morphed into their own Bored Ape NFTs that they've created. And so it was like, again, this really weird, like cartoony AI performance during
Was it of them, or was it a pre-rendered video, I wonder?
It was like on the stage for part of it, and they kind of morphed. It was I did not pay too close of attention. I was kind of looking up every once in a while I was playing a game or something on my phone, but it was weird. But then I saw this article and I was like, oh, Bored Apes, they're really trying to do this NFT stuff.
Well, when you said that all those companies were owned by the same thing, they're owned by China using crypto to buy it is probably the answer to that.
True. So our next story related to NFTs, OpenSea, which has been a huge NFT marketplace, turns into NFT ghost town after daily volume plunges 99%.
Oof. I did not letter in math like some people on this podcast, but I know that 99% is a big percentage.
Yes.
It's almost 100%, if I recall correctly.
Yes, almost. So notably, the marketplace processed nearly $5 million worth of NFT transactions on August 28th, which is still seems ridiculously high. Approximately 99% lower than its record high of 405.75 million with an M on May 1st, according to DAP Radar.
Whatever that is. But this just goes to show NFTs, crypto, that whole space is not for the faint of heart. If you don't know what you're doing, don't even touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Yes, yes. And our next story that you would think a crypto firm would know what they're doing, but a crypto firm accidentally gave $10.5 million with an M to sisters, now wants their $1.35 million house.
Yeah, I've seen this article a couple times, and one of this ladies got the money, and then she bought her sister a house with the money, and then, I assume spent other portions of the money on other things.
Yes.
And now the mistake that had happened from the company, they're wanting their money back. It was supposed to be a much lower number that they put into her account.
Yeah, so after a Crypto.com employee entered the wrong account number and mistakenly sent, and it's 10.5 million Australian, so there's an asterisk there.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. Instead of putting the amount, they put the account number, which was like a 6-digit number. Yeah.
To an Australian woman who had requested a $100 refund. It took 7 months for the cryptocurrency exchange platform to discover its error. They need some better accountants. By that point, the transfer error could not be reversed, and some of the money had allegedly already been spent. Well, you think? Now, here we go. The recipient, Theva Managari Manavel.
Wow, that's a name.
Theva Manogari Manavel.
I wonder what their Twitter handle is.
Jeez. Yeah, you couldn't even use your name for a Twitter handle. But yeah, whoever that Crypto.com employee is, I don't. And how do you not catch $10.5 million?
Well, they must have so much money going through there that much money is just not a big deal.
Wow. So. Well, you know what is a big deal? Dave's Pro Tip of the Week.
So in the eve of everyone and their dog getting new iPhones this year, and I think you sent a funny meme with me that said it's the guy behind the tree.
It's my favorite meme.
He's rubbing his hands, just anticipating, and it says, "Me waiting for the iPhone 14 launch so that the iPhone 13 price drops, so that the iPhone 12 price drops, so that I can buy an iPhone 11." Yes. And I have been there. I have been to the point in my life where I'm looking on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, going, okay, the new phones are out. Surely somebody's selling their old one, and I'll buy like a 2-year-old phone, and maybe it's got a cracked screen, and I'm like buying a screen and fixing the screen. I don't live my life like that anymore. Do I have more money now than I did then? Probably not, due to inflation, but I choose to spend my money differently. But anyway, it was just kind of funny. But on that topic, new phones are going to be in the hands of people here very soon. And every year we talk about the process of transferring information from your old phone to your new phone and what that entails. So there are basically 3 ways that you can now transfer information from your old phone to your new phone. The most rudimentary way is I have one laying around here somewhere, but it's a lightning cable that you plug into one end into your phone and the other one into your computer. I do the wireless charging all the time, so I rarely plug anything into my phone anymore. But if you have one of those cables, plug it into your computer. If you're on a PC, launch iTunes. If you're on a Mac, with a modern operating system, it's all done through the Finder now, through the little sidebar on your Finder windows. And you would back up the contents of your iPhone, get your new phone, and then restore the new phone with the backup that you just made. And then you can safely erase and wipe and decouple your old phone from your iCloud account so that you could sell it or give it to a loved one. So that's the most rudimentary, probably the most difficult way to do it, but it is rock solid and it works. The second way would be to back up your phone to iCloud. If you are like listener Todd and have recently purchased an upgraded iCloud account with more storage, I think did he get rid of that? There was a little drama associated with that.
There was. Sorry for trigger warning for Todd on the iCloud.
I should have said that before I said iCloud. But you would back it up to iCloud, provided you have enough space. Then you get your new phone, sign in, and it says, "Hey, I found a backup that you just made in iCloud. So the disadvantage there is that it doesn't retain, due to some encryption and that type of stuff, your passwords and sign-ins and stuff like that. So you may have to sign in to all of your applications again and all those things, because that's just how iCloud works. If you do it directly, those things will still be logged in.
Yeah, and I will quickly interject because I'm always complaining my 256 gigabyte iPhone that, you know, it's almost full and all this stuff. So you're thinking, oh man, you've got a 256 gigabyte backup? Well, no. My device backup is 21.1 gigs because it's my photos aren't part of that because they're in iCloud photo library, whatever that thing is. My podcasts aren't part of the backup because they can be downloaded again. The apps, those can just be downloaded again directly from Apple. So if you're thinking, well, I could never back up my whole phone, this is I had never looked to see what size that was, but 21.1 gigs, with all my 400 apps and all the data for those and everything. So it's much smaller than you might think it is, but
still larger than the complimentary 5 gigabytes that Apple gives to you.
Yes,
so.
True.
And then the rock solid, easiest way that doesn't require copious amounts of iCloud is device to device transfer. And so you take your old iPhone and you place it next to your new iPhone, and through some type of magic, the new iPhone goes, wait a minute, there's another iPhone next to me. Would you like to transfer the information? And you do all the stuff that it says and you hit go. And then you don't want to touch your phones for the next 2 hours probably because it's doing a point-to-point transfer. But it actually does a really good job. You've done it several times in the past. Other than it taking a long time, it's a really great way to transfer information from an old phone to a new phone. Then, of course, once it's all transferred, you could do the same thing, log out of your old phone, wipe it, gift it, or sell it, or do whatever. Or like me, keep it and have a collection of them. I'm using one iPhone right now to be a camera on my 3D printer. So
very nice.
Yeah.
And the other alternative to that is the direct iPhone to iPhone. If you have an iPhone to USB adapter and a lightning cable to USB, you can actually do a wired direct transfer kind of by making a combined, which I believe I did that last year.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that alternative cable lifestyle with all these couplers and things dongles plugging in together. We're getting into some PG-13 rated type things if we were to discuss that.
Yes.
But yes, tethering it with a physical cable is yet another way. But let's be honest, who's going to have that laying around?
Besides
you,
us. Yes, me.
I don't even know that I could get things together to make it happen.
And I will tell on the restoring from iCloud, I think it's got better because Chelsea's phone has actually had issues, and 2 or 3 times she's woken up and it's just stuck on the Apple logo. And I don't know if it's when it's doing the iCloud backup overnight or something just gets messed up, and I have to do a full restore on her phone. Well, luckily, it's backed up to iCloud, and I've gotten pretty good at this. I can quickly get in there, reset it. I plug it into my Mac just to make it quick for the recovery. You might have to do that. It'll reinstall iOS, and then you just enter the iCloud. It downloads the latest iCloud backup, and then she's back up and running pretty quickly. Now she has a lot less apps and stuff than I do. We've been able to get her back up and running. Now, you would think I would look for a more permanent solution, which might be getting her a new phone. But it's this really weird thing where I think it's been 3 times now where she just wakes up and shows me the phone and goes, I'm stuck on an Apple logo. And I'm like, okay, I know what I got to do. So it happened this morning, and I think I was able to do it in about 20 minutes, get her fully back up and running. So
has she been saying any negative things towards the Russian government or anything like that?
Well, quite often.
Yeah, maybe
Russia and China are often topics of conversation for her. Well, after the longest pro tip of the week, let's move on to our takes of the week. And this is a critical, might be top news story of the decade here. Japan to change laws that require use of floppy floppy disks.
Now, I saw the headline, but I did not read this article. So what are we talking about here?
Yes, so Japan's digital minister Taro Kono has pledged to rip up laws that require floppy disks and CD-ROMs to be used when sending data to the nation's government.
Yes, as they should have been ripped up 2 decades ago.
Yes. Oh, I mean, could you imagine having, like, even a CD? How many people can still burn a CD?
It's now required that they have to fax all the information in.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, they're upgrading to fax machines. But yeah, I can't imagine that having, especially if you had to use a floppy disk, and they only hold, 1.4 megabytes worth of data on the little square ones? Mm-hmm. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, Kono is right on top of that one.
Yeah, I hope that they make that happen quickly. And
yes.
There's going to be a very few little small cottage industries that are going to go bankrupt because of this. But
Yes, indeed. So last week on Wednesday, there was the iPhone or the Apple event in the morning. Well, going on at the same time was the Code conference. Kara Swisher is one of the, it's been going on for a long time, a tech conference. So Tim Cook did the event in the morning. Then he flew, I believe it was down in San Diego for this event in the evening. But they did a panel. It was Tim Cook, Lorene Powell-Jobs, and Johnny Ive did a panel talking about Steve Jobs. And I haven't gotten a chance to watch it. I would like to just see what they had to say. But they also announced that they have launched, and I'm guessing by the looks of the website that Johnny Ive had a lot of input on the design of it, because it is very simple, but it is stevejobsarchive.com. And they're starting to add some things on there, some emails and different content there to kind of remember Steve Jobs, which is pretty cool.
yeah, there's a little letter there. There's some quotes, and that's about it. And you can sign up for a newsletter.
So I think they're going to be adding. So one of the About Us, it says, with respect for the past and excitement for the future, the Steve Jobs Archive offers people the tools and the opportunities to make their own contribution. We're building programs, fellowships, collections, and partnerships that reflect Steve's values and carry his sense of possibility forward. So this is just the launch of this. Mm-hmm. And they've obviously, they've got a little bit of money, and they want to honor Steve Jobs by creating whatever they end up creating.
Yeah, it seems like maybe this is a museum on the front end, and then it'll be like a university kind of on the back end. And the little logo there, did you see that? It's a key, but the key looks like a tree. Oh. And on the tree are little apples. And one of the apples has fallen out of the tree to be the little key part on the base of the key. So a very cleverly designed logo that you can enjoy. Oh, and if you touch it with your mouse, it turns from an eye into the tree. Very cool. Yes. Yeah. So a fun little project there that I'm sure we'll hear more about. The next couple stories are all kind of security and privacy related, and some areas of the country have been having some very warm weather recently. And this story I saw going around, thousands of Xcel customers locked out of thermostats during energy emergency, which they put in single quotes. But I think we had a story like this last year. And a small disclaimer, this is not Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. No. This is a company who crazily named their company Xcel. Yes. And I guess it's an energy company. Yes. But why would you? Yeah, so 22,000 people lost control of temperatures in their home for hours. I would be very cranky if this would have happened to me. And it might have resulted in me ripping the thermostat out of the wall and throwing it across the room. Yes. So, and there's many stories about, California with their heat wave and asking people not to use electricity or charge their electric cars and turn their temperature up to 78 or 79. But this is just one of those concerns that some people have about all these smart devices we have and smart vehicles, everything being smart that I don't know. It's only as smart as the person who programmed it.
Yes,
and
or has control over it.
And most people are idiots.
Yes. So Xcel confirmed to Contact Denver 7 that 22,000 customers who had signed up for the Colorado AC Rewards program were locked out of their smart thermostat for hours on Tuesday. It's a voluntary program. Let's remember that this is something that customers choose to be a part of based on the incentive, and they receive a $100 credit for enrolling in the program and $25 annually. Yeah, for $100, give up the control of your home. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yes, and then another one, our lovely governments and using technology. French tax officials use AI to spot 20,000 undeclared pools.
So today I learned you must declare your pool
Yes.
in France to the government saying, hey, government, I have a pool. Or, hey, government, I have a pool.
Yes. Yes. So the system developed by Google and Capgemini can identify pools on aerial images and cross-checks them with land registry databases.
This is getting out of hand. What about my illegal pot farm? That's okay. But if I have a pool.
A pool. Oh, well, it got them a bunch of it. 10 million with an M, euros that they have sent out in bills for unregistered pools in France.
I think euros are kind of like crypto, like Bitcoin, I think.
Yeah, pretty much the same. And then one more. Man, we're on a roll here. Los Angeles School District warns of disruption as it battles ongoing ransomware attack.
Again, people, why are we attacking hospitals, schools, universities? Like, what is... I say, what is there to gain? Money.
Yes.
But you're not going to get anybody on your side by attacking infrastructure like this. If you attacked Tesla or Apple or whatever, there might be a group of people going, take out the rich, we're for the little guy. But you're hurting everyone by attacking infrastructure like this.
Yes, yes. And LAUSD is the second largest school district in the U.S. after New York City, with more than 600,000 with a T students, kindergarten through 12th grade, at over 1,000 schools, and employs more than 26,000 teachers. So that is crazy. And it warned that ongoing disruptions include access to email, computer systems, and applications. Oh, man.
That's
that
crazy.
Is not good.
Apparently, they're not using Google's email system. Google Apps, because then it would be Google's problem, I'm assuming.
Well, and it does say, while a post from Northridge Academy High, a school in the district, confirmed that teachers and students might be unable to access Google Drive and Schoology.
So maybe they do use
management.
Google services. Can't they just go on any other computer with a web browser and get to their accounts? I don't understand.
I don't.
Who knows? But it's messed up any way you slice it or dice it.
Yes. Well, you know what's not messed up? Our bonus odd take this week. A YouTuber ports Quake 1 to the Apple Watch.
So I saw this and I had to laugh because much like Doom, Quake is one of those apps. It's like, will it run Doom? Will it run whatever? I think these days, will it run Minecraft is kind of one of the things.
Yes.
But Quake is an old first-person shooter type game that we all used to play back in the day.
Yes.
Networked on our company computer system.
Yes,
I loved
indeed.
it. Those were, if I could go back and to those days. Those
Get
were
paid
days.
to play Quake all day. Oh,
Yeah. Not all day. Come on.
Oh, no.
Maybe you did.
Yes.
But regardless, you can now do this on your watch. And I watched the video and you can move forward, you could strafe, you could shoot, you could do whatever. I didn't have the bandwidth to go to GitHub, compile the binaries and transfer it and do this and then adjust my satellite dish so that it hits the moon and reflects off of Russia. I didn't want to do any of that, so I just watched the video. But it was pretty cool and it ran rather well. And it's just a testament to how fast and capable chips are in smart devices these days. Our phones, our watches, anything has the capability of running a video game that took a very powerful computer 20 years ago to do.
Yeah. No, it is wild to see and to think of the time that this guy, or this person spent, my own clone on YouTube, spent doing this and creating everything to make it work on an Apple Watch, which is so limited of, can't just install a bunch of games on there. So he had to do a lot of work for this. So I am always impressed by these people. And you will always be impressed by our picks of the week.
So I kind of went on a deep dive last night. A friend of mine had lent me a paper book. I don't know if you're familiar with these, but they're a bunch of paper with words on it, and they stick them in a big stack. So that's a thing, I guess.
They still exist?
They do. And he gave me this book, and it's on, it's called, I'll just say what it's called. It's not a secret or anything. The title of the book is Blind Man's Bluff, and it's about submarine warfare. So very exciting. Anyway, he gave me a paper copy, and it has sat on my nightstand night after night after night with me not reading it, because typically I go to bed when my spouse is asleep and I'd have to turn on the light and yada, yada, yada. So I like to use electronic devices to read my books. And so I went on my deep dive and I found a resource. I'm not exactly sure how legal it is, but everybody on Reddit seemed to know about it. It is called Z Library, and you can get there by typing in z-lib.org. And it takes you to this website. It's best if you sign up for an account there, but you can download hundreds of thousands of EPUB, Mobi, PDF type books. There's articles for like education. You can do all this for free. It's best if you sign up with an account, and you can even gift them as little as $1 to unlock features, for example, of sending the book directly from the website to your Kindle by using the Kindle's email address, or some various other things. The free version gives you the ability to download 10 books a day for perpetually. Actually, I'm trying to remember if it's 10 if you give them $1. It doesn't matter. But you can download multiple a day, and then they restrict you, and then the next day you can download more and more and more and more. So I gave them $1 through an Amazon gift card, and it was a little sketchy, but I'm like, it's just $1.
Yeah.
Then I downloaded 10 books, and it said, hey, you've downloaded 10 for the day. Wait till tomorrow. So wait and download more. But I found graphic novels. I found Blind Man's Bluff. I put it on my Kindle. It takes a little bit of tweaking to get things to work. And like I would double click the file on my Mac, and it would open up Apple Books instead of my Kindle. And so I figured out how to do it the other way. Regardless, if you're looking for a particular book and either the electronic version doesn't exist, or you don't have the means to buy it, but you have the real book in hand, take a look at zlib.org and see if you can find what you're looking for.
Very cool. Well, my pick of the week this week, as mentioned before in the episode, I have vast aspirations of doing more videos and video work, and I love taking videos, but I also love, much like your love of buying video games, I love buying video gear.
Yeah.
But this is one, I believe it was a pick on MacBreak Weekly quite a while ago, and it's called Sprig. Now, Dave, I'm opening the package here.
This is not a digital good or service. It's an actual physical thing.
Physical good. So you could probably make these with your handy 3D printer, and maybe I'll hire you to do that.
I bet I can.
So what it is on one side, it's just a little plastic piece. It has a 1/4-20 thread.
Hold on, I got to get my old man glasses on here, because I have your screen really small for some reason. Oh, okay.
So it's got a little 1/4-20 thread, so anything with a 1/4-20, you would screw it in. And then the other end is almost a full ring, but there's a little hole there, and it's flexible. So this, you put on, if you have a camera rig or some sort of tripod thing, you can screw this in and run all your cables and keep your cables tidy. And I thought of like Wes, who actually does a lot of video stuff, unlike me, or somebody that's got camera gear. And if you've got a monitor or a microphone attachment, you've just got cables kind of flopping everywhere.
I'm trying to think of the use case. So for example, over here, let me use my handy dandy Sprig arm. So I've got this monitor here, this little monitor.
Yeah.
And I'm using the quarter 20 port on the bottom, but the side also has a quarter 20. So you're saying I would use an available quarter 20 slot to screw that in there, and then I'd have wire?
So you can like I have my iPhone case, the small rig it's got about 20 quarter 20s all the way around it.
Okay.
But let's say I had my phone in here and I had a light on top and I had my monitor and I had a microphone, and then all the cords, I could nicely keep them tidy and tight in the little Sprig.
Well, you're exactly right. I might be making some of those if they exist on Thingiverse. I doubt I'm going to design one, but that's pretty cool.
Yes, yeah. So maybe you should design one, but they are a little pricey. So a 6-pack of these, I got the black. They have a bunch of different colors. A 6-pack was $18, so they're about $3 a piece for this little piece of plastic, which is not cheap. But if you're somebody that could really use this, I mean, it's just, and I haven't seen anything like it. It is worth it to keep your stuff tidy and get a little more street cred on your video rig.
Yeah, people look at your phone with that smart rig and they go, that's a little janky. Oh, but wait, there are colorful pieces of plastic managing the cables.
Yes.
This guy's legit.
It's true. It is true. But so just one of those odd little picks. I decided to pick some up, and hopefully we'll be using them more. I need to get I sent you and Wes a picture one time of all of my camera gear kind of all connected together, and it was absolutely ridiculous. But now it could be a little less ridiculous with the Sprigs because the cables would look nice.
Well, I'm looking forward to you getting your new phone with the new gimbal-like stability.
Oh yeah, the action mode for video.
Action mode stabilization, see what you can accomplish.
Yes, it would be interesting to do a test of that side by side with the Osmo Pocket that we have, the true gimbal little camera, which is probably not going to do too well after Apple's is out in the wild, but that's the way technology goes.
The leapfrog is in full force.
Yes. Well, with that, I think we will leapfrog out of this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Share it with a friend. Send us a text message. Go check out the YouTube channel. I think there's some more Dave Plays Games coming soon.
Yes. I'm about 50% edited on that.
Yeah. It's rendering as we speak.
Yeah, it's exporting right now.
Yes. So, we love the interaction and the Facebook group, of course, and Facebook page, all of that good stuff. But the whole goal is to help you get out there and tech better.
I'm going to cut out a bunch of my Dave's tips and a bunch of my Dave's picks because I sure talked a lot. But I'm pretty sure on our feedback that people like it when I talk a lot. I'm pretty sure that's the...
Pretty sure, yes.